Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The product we have today, our platform, is called AgroNet. And basically, its goal is to remove the unscrupulous middlemen. So I begin. Agriculture is the heartbeat of the African economy, providing 2/3 of the jobs and also 75% of the domestic trade. Smallholder farmers are the mainstay of the agriculture industry. 50% of the population depends on it for their livelihoods. And also, it provides more than 30% of the GDP of Africa itself. The bulk of the agricultural produce is usually produced by the smallholder farmers themselves, which is a total of 80% of the production. And Africa's food market's value is about $300 billion annually, and it's expected to rise to $1 trillion by the year 2020. 25% of the agriculture, 25% of the agribusiness in Africa accrues directly to the smallholder farmer themselves. But yet, we found out that the smallholder farmers live in abject poverty, even though they provide an important contribution to Africa's economy. One of the factors is lack of adequate market access, which leaves them vulnerable to price expoliation through the unscrupable middlemen, who take advantage of them because they have no knowledge of the market. Secondly, lack of timely input supply due to the lack of knowledge of the information of the market. This will lead to them having depleted or no harvest at all. Lack of transport and storage options. They are not able to transport the goods in time to the market to sell them. Therefore, in the end, this will lead to the loss of income opportunities that they'll have. Lastly, limited access to financial services. This means that they will not have enough productivity for that year, resulting to a constant or stagnant in their growth. So first and foremost, the farmers will need access to the markets. They also need access to finance, credit, storage, and professional advice. Without this, they'll not be able to make it in their lives. So with the mobile technology, we'll be able to provide the farmers the chance to access the markets, to access buyers, and also other professional services that will be in the application. As you can see on this diagram, 80% of Africa's population uses mobile phones, but only in Malawi. By the year of 2017, it's only 26% of Malawians who have access to mobile phones. So not everybody will be able to access this platform, but there's a solution to that, of course, which you'll see shortly. So with the use of the mobile phones and market access, the farmers will be able to access the facilities and improve the financial inclusions for smallholder farmers as well. AgroNet. It will be a mobile and web-based platform where farmers, buyers, and other people providing services will be under one virtual roof. Here, there'll be information and they'll be able to sell, to advertise the goods on the platform. So I understand most of you have no idea where Malawi is located. It's found in the southeast of Africa. It's a landlocked country. To the northeast, we have Tanzania. To the northwest, Zambia. And Mozambique borders the south, southeast, and southwest. Malawi's economy revolves around agriculture. That's providing for 80% of the population. About 2 million of the farm families produce over 4.5 hectares of land and produce. Due to this information, smallholder farmers provide 80% of the produce to the country, whilst the 20% will go to international exports and the like. AgroNet will target 500 smallholder farmers, but as I mentioned earlier, only 26% of the country uses mobile phones. So therefore, only about 125,000 of the farmers will be able to access the platform themselves. Apart from this, we're going to have both local and international buyers who will be able to access the platform. We're going to also provide the chance to recruit storage services, suppliers, and yet again, financial service providers. Introduce you to the application. Here we have the landing page of the application. It's going to be available for the mobile, the web, and also a USSD. The reason why I've chosen the USSD is that most people in Malawi as well, especially the farmers, do not have access to smartphones. So by using this, they'll be able to access the platform easily and services will be readily available to them. We continue on to the sign-up page where you'll be able to log in into the platform. Once you've logged in, you'll be landed into the home page. From the home page, you'll be able to search and you'll be able to sell or find or buy anything you want on the platform. So it depends on the crop that you're looking for. You're going to be able to access it via the application here. For instance, on this page, let's say a search for soybeans has been put into the URL. Here are the search results that are going to be available. And once the user clicks on one of the search results, the first page on the left shows the information of what will be available for that specific product. The next picture shows the commodity prices available for that specific product as well. And lastly, the platform will also have access to a small bank account, I can put it in that way. So business people, buyers more especially, will be able to pay using the application itself. Other than that, they'll be able to transfer between wallets, money from one account to the other account. Apart from that, farmers also have the advantage to withdraw the money after they've made the transactions. So it'll be like a small bank account where they'll be able to keep the money so that they're able to receive money from buyers who are buying the products. And yet again, they themselves will buy supplies from service providers such as fertilizer and fumigation services. So, how are we going to make our money? Already as I speak right now, we have settled a deal with Zambia to sell them 30 metric tons of soybeans, and this deal is worth $94,000. For this, we only have 100 farmers who are currently working on this product, and each of them can produce about 60 to 100 bags of soybeans per farmer. The benefit of the farmer and the buyer. As you can see, for each bag that the farmer sells, they'll be able to make 2 cents out of it. That's 7% of income to the farmer. It may not seem a lot to you, but 7% can actually make a difference. If I put it this way, imagine if someone raised 7% of your salary for the annual. How will you feel about that? It would actually make a big difference at the end of the year. So the farmer would actually benefit a lot from it. Not only will the farmer benefit from it, but the buyer himself. He'll be saving up to 11% for each purchase he makes for the bags. Currently in Malawi, we're the only platform that is doing this. No other platform is there available that sells or has a marketplace on the mobile devices for farmers to buy or sell the produce. But a comparable competitor is AHL Community Exchange. It's a Malawian organization that sells on commodity exchanges, but our advantage compared to them is that we also provide other auxiliary services other than just the commodity trading. Already we have our testimonials. The first one on our list is Alice. She's a farmer, but has struggles in producing a soybean and finding a market to sell it. We have helped her to find a market and helped her earn about $600 for our bags. She is thankful for the work we've done. Then we have Chimwemwe. He has a family. He had it at an early age. He has struggled to provide for his family, and we have helped him to raise money so that he and his family can survive for the livelihoods. Other than that, our last one was David. He used to have a middleman who used to do the trading for him. But as I said earlier on, the middleman is there taking advantage of him, selling the products that the farmer makes at a price lower than the market price. So with us ourselves, we'll be able to link up David and the buyer directly so that he can make profits and sell at a high price himself. Here we have our team. We're young and energetic, and we would want to see our project prosper. We're a team of software developers and business entrepreneurs. We have developed this platform so that farmers, buyers, and other service providers are under one virtual roof so that they'll be able to do their business there. The future of AgroNet. As the usage of mobile phones grows, there'll be an area where our company's growth will also be affected by that. The growth of the numbers of the farmers on the platform, for now, is estimated to be about 50%, but later on, through the use of marketing strategies and government to help us get this platform working straight up, we'll be able to have 1 million by the year of 2020. The recruiters and buyers will increase as the farmers increase on the platform as well. So therefore, this project is starting off in Malawi first, but as time goes on, we'd want it to extend in the sub-region as well as all of Africa. So AgroNet. Our vision is to create a community where farmers, community buyers, service providers are under one virtual roof, where they'll have an efficient way to do their business. And our mission is to provide the platform on a profitable, multi-platform and agro-trading so that our users and as well as our stakeholders can have an advantage from it. This is all I had to say. Here is our email, you can find us, and for more information, you have our contact address over there. Thank you.
All right, now let's open up to some Q&A.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Really very interesting, very exciting, very ambitious. Can you speak a bit about any regulatory issues or government issues in terms of like if you're effectively running a bank, does that require you to have a banking license? Have you considered any of those sort of angles?
On that, we haven't approached the government yet on that, but then I'll get back to you on that as we're done.
Thank you. It's really amazing and interesting to look at other country. Thank you for presenting this to us. So my question is, how many users are currently on the platform?
Currently, we have 500 farmers. But then, as earlier on, as I showed you, the current transaction we have, only 100 farmers are participating in that one. Yeah.
Cool. And so how, could you tell a little bit more on your like go-to-market strategy? How are you going to attract more people to use it?
Through the government as well. There'll be a great influence, and who will also be able to advise more farmers to join the community because of the advantage of removing the middleman.
How are you going to reach these farmers?
Reach the farmers?
Yeah, how are you going to basically, how are you going to find these people? How are you going to speak to them, right? Are you going to basically go to each farmer independently, or are you going to run some advertising company? How people will know about your platform?
Firstly is advertisement, but then for the farmers who are found in the rural areas, we would have to go there and actually tell them about it and introduce the idea to them. That's how we do that.
So my first question is, what is your name? Because you didn't present it on there, and I didn't know what your name was, so.
Ronald.
Road?
Ronald.
Ronald.
Yes.
Great presentation, Ronald. There's a lot of stuff in your presentation that are a variety of different directions. You're building a platform, you're building a mobile payment, you're building the last mile logistics transportation system. And so, you know, the one thing that I want to make you cognizant is that those are really 4 or 5 different lines of business upon itself. You touch upon trying to find out what is the problem. You know, your problem, or the problem for farmers, is that they're not getting transparency for their pricing or engagement in terms of selling to other suppliers and buyers. And so I think you have to, or suggest that you try to find that solution, and I think you have. And that solution, first of all, is 25% of Malawi farmers don't even have internet access or mobile phones. They have standard phones that in the past. And something for you to consider is providing them those access to those type of iPads or mobile phones that are used for business and not for consumption, so that you can give them the access to these farmers, first of all, and then focus on providing these type of distribution channels to the grocers and the marketplace. And I think that would be probably the first step to answer Yuri's question on going to market strategy, because I think there's a huge potential for this, and you want to provide also a defensibility to your business in terms of barriers to entry, so that no other companies can try to do that. Once you get these farmers into your platform in exchange, it makes it easier to then provide these ancillary other products and services going forward as well.
Can you speak a little bit about verification of people on the platform? So how would I know if I'm a farmer that the buyer is legitimate, and vice versa?
I would have to get back to you on that. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think that would be important as well, because like the idea is great, like in terms of opening up the market and providing that transparency, but people have to have the trust as well that the people they're transacting with are legitimate. And if the middlemen are unscrupulous, they might well try and get on the platform as well. And so you'd have to definitely have a level of verification there, I think, in some sense.
All right. Work on that.
Could you tell a little bit more at what stage the development now? So what functionality do you already have implemented in a platform, and what is next that you're looking for?
Well, currently we only have the mock-ups as you saw on the slides, but currently as well, my team at home is working on the prototype as we speak right now.
What will include the first prototype? What functionality?
The first functionality? The first functionality, I think, will be signing up the farmers into the platform, as well as buyers and other service providers. That will be the first stage of the platform.
Very cool. So on that note, let's go for the one amazing thing, one open question each.
Well, I think you really addressed, there's a huge opportunity in Malawi. So kudos for recognizing that and making that and starting that initiative and this change. I would, like I said, focus on getting the farmers and validation, building this trust, having a ranking, or just tying in these networks of farmers together, and also maybe creating a chat among these farmers, a chat bot or a chat room, so that they can actually communicate and interact with each other on a very instantaneous level and provide those type of transparencies.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's awesome what you're doing. I think it's really speaks to your dedication in trying to do something really transformational for an entire country. I think it's amazing. But I think the staging of the process is super important, because I think it'd be very hard to do it all simultaneously. So I think you need to think about where you can add value to people in sort of the highest value you can add in the shortest period of time to get people onto the platform, and then roll out additional functionality, rather than trying to, don't premise it on having everything all at once, because you may find it too difficult to sort of get all that stuff up and running. But if you can find that first piece that really unlocks some value for the farmers, or creates that market transparency, then I think you'd be on your way.
All right.
Yes, obviously, like a great thing that you have very clear value. It's like removing middlemen and increasing the selling price, reducing the buying price. It's like no-brainer for this, right? And of course, in terms of open question, as Mike said, this is a really big project if you will try to execute it at once, like immediately without some intermediate stage. It's like transformational for the whole country. So you should be very smart how you are rolling it out and how you're approaching users to this platform. But
Okay.
I'm super excited to see what you presented, and I really, really want you to succeed in this.
Thank you very much.
Huge round of applause.